Hey! Bon, on s'est déguisé. Normalement, ça passe. On va enquêter sur ce Bernardotti. C'est incroyable. Alors, on a le meurtre du peintre qui s'est fait tuer par le gars qui boite apparemment. Et le gars qui boite qui a volé la peinture justement et qui a retrouvé le peintre qui l'a tué. Puis ensuite, ce même gars qui boite est parti dans un camp de réfugiés chercher une femme qui s'est faite voler avec le i en plus entre le v et le o. Type qui s'est fait... Enfin, les réfugiés ont défendu la femme. Le type a pris la fuite. Il est mort, il est tombé sur son couteau comme un idiot. Donc ça fait le gars qui a tué, il est mort, il s'est fait tuer tout seul. Mais on a appris que celle qui s'est fait voler, c'est par un rosbeef, un haut placé. Et le mec qui est venu la capturer, là, il travaille chez Bernadotti. Donc c'est pour ça qu'on va enquêter. Et parce que le gars qui a volé la meuf, on n'en sait pas plus. On sait juste... On a un portrait lui, j'en sais rien. Pardon. Tout ce qu'on sait, c'est que... il porte une croix... pas une croix en collier, hein, une croix de reconnaissance de la patrie, là, tout ça. Une connerie comme ça. Mais on n'a aucun indice sur lui, à part ça. Donc on va devoir trouver. Donc là, je suis déguisé. Est-ce que je peux lui parler? Est-ce qu'il va me dire quelque chose? Salut mon brave.
Do you know anything about this? Please step back. I'd rather my colleagues didn't see us together.
Ah. Toi, tu veux plus me parler? Ah, si. Tu veux plus me parler?
Do you know anything
Mon
about
copain?
this?
Nah, never come across anything like this.
Everyone's looking at us, Sherry. You sure you know what you're doing?
Ça y est, je ressemble. Bonjour, je suis un thug.
Stop. Who are you? Haven't seen you before.
Didn't see you either, mate. I'm John. Just shipped in from London. Cheap bastards had me sharing a bunk with two others.
Aye, that sounds like Bernadotti. Why are you here?
A problem at the refugee camp. I need to report to Mr. Bernadotti. The sooner the better.
I knew it was only a matter of time until those savages stirred up trouble. Go on, get
Alors
inside.
pourquoi il y en a qui ont 2 bâtons et un qui en... et d'autres qui en ont un? Alors, spoiler, on va se battre.
You did it, Sherry. A full immersion into the criminal underworld.
Alors il sait peut-être quelque chose. Ah non, ça c'est à chercher aux archives.
The Silverhand treasure.
Sherry, look!
Loads of pirate
This
gold
seems
buried
familiar.
somewhere around, just waiting to be found.
It's all right, there's no treasure.
But maybe there is. I just need to crack the bloody riddle.
Il est où le trésor?
Are you able to help me?
Nah, fella. I got no idea about this.
Qu'est-ce qu'il dit lui?
An amazing piece of culture. I imagine many collectors and museums would be interested in having it.
C'est de l'or africain, il y a de la drogue cachée dedans. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a mon John?
This?
Ici, the peinture.
Let's see what's hidden there.
Ouh là là. Mais ils sont chauds comme la baise. C'est quoi ces conneries? Attends, il est où le truc? Hein? Ah, ça.
Vogel's stolen painting. Isn't it curious how it developed into a much more interesting case?
Masque Peul.
Masks, traditional for the Chokwe people of Central Africa. A Dogon statue from West Africa.
Il en connaît des choses. Hein.
A century old at least.
C'est dingue, hein. Comment il fait pour connaître tout ça?
VH Grindley Flow Blue Tableware. This is what lies behind the facade of Bernadotte Company Limited.
La contrebande. Eh ben, il y a beaucoup d'indices. Ça va être compliqué. Et donc, il va y avoir embrouille. C'est assez grand pour embrouille. Attends, je suis con. Il n'y a pas d'escalier, mais il est où Bernardotti?
Do you know anything about this?
Nah, never come across anything like this.
Ouais, et ensuite... Ah!
An amazing piece of culture. I imagine many collectors and museums would be interested in.
Le glitch!
Hello, friend. Tough day, eh?
Ouais, c'est chaud. Hein. Oula.
If the damn idiot hadn't stolen the canary, I'd be bathing in silver down in the mines. Instead of this.
The Bernadotte Company Limited trade network reaches the most distant colonies of the Great Empire.
It must be very convenient for a man like Bernadotte.
I suppose it's Mr. Bernadotte with our fine governor.
Ah bah ça y est. Ah mais on n'a pas de nom.
1875. It was taken a few years back. John, how many people in Cordona have a photograph with the governor, do you think?
You definitely don't
Excuse
have
me, Mr. Bernadotte is busy right now.
Bonjour.
Sir, you're obstructing the light. Could you step back?
I don't know who you are, but someone will be punished for letting you in. But first, let's talk.
Ouais, d'accord. Salut mon gars.
Whenever you're ready, I'd hate to intrude.
Ah, c'est par grade. À mon avis, c'est ça. Hein. La pelagre. Aucune idée. Et marié, c'est ça? Niccolo Bernadotti est un impitoyable chef de gang doublé d'un homme d'affaires retors. Il dégage un air de confiance et de menace. Il anticipe le moins de danger en gardant toujours son arme à feu à portée de main, mais qu'il la laisse dans son étui. Issu de classe ouvrière, né dans la pauvreté, oui, ça a l'air correct. Les longues heures à passer, à s'épuiser sous le soleil, la malnutrition ont fait de lui une proie idéale pour la pelagre. Ah, les effets sont visibles encore de la pelagre. En dépit de son aisance pécuniaire actuelle, il se garde de mener un train de vie des puissants et projette une image et une allure sobre. Bernadotte, ses hommes sont marqués de tatouages différents qui se rejoignent néanmoins dans leur style. Les divers rangs, ouais, une costume. Prince allemand sont sollicités dans le but de démontrer l'étendue de son pouvoir, ouais. Ouais, non. Hop là, on va se
Bad
faire
news.
buter.
The thug you sent to the refugee camp only succeeded in stabbing himself. His next and final journey will be to the morgue.
Hold your horses. Who the hell are you?
Sherlock Holmes. And you are Niccolo Bernadotte, a smuggler, kidnapper, and notorious cutthroat, among other things.
Few men would dare waltz into my office and address me like that. You are either overconfident or unintelligent. This is private property. Give me one reason why I should not shoot you on the spot. I am sure my friends at the station would call it self-defense.
Mr. Bernadotte, do you know the name Boniface Mercurio?
I do not.
Mercurio was a local artist. Recently, a man broke into his apartment, ransacked the place, and killed him. The thief was looking for something.
You are testing my patience, boy.
In a moment, the connection will reveal itself. As I said, your man was found dead in the refugee camp. He was there to kidnap a woman, but the other refugees intervened to try and save her. The ensuing scuffle resulted in the man's accidental suicide. He sported the same tattoo as your men in this building. In fact, it also bears a resemblance to the one on your neck. Care to explain what business your man had with this woman?
You have no idea what you are talking about. I can assure you this was no kidnapping. The refugees in the camp are on edge. What happened there is a tragic accident, one I am not responsible for.
For what reason was your man there if not to abduct her?
Why would I answer? You are yet to justify your presence in the slightest.
I was hired, privately, to investigate the recent theft of a painting from an art gallery. My investigation led me to a man from your organization, and thus, to you, Mr. Bernadotte.
That is quite a stretch. Why would I need to steal a painting when I could buy anyone I wanted?
Interestingly enough, I spotted the stolen painting in your storeroom.
I buy and sell a lot of things, Mr. Holmes. Unfortunately, if this is true, it is not the first time I have been sold stolen merchandise. I presume you were hired by the owner of the gallery. Tell them to contact me, and we'll sort out the situation. So, this painting is why you broke into my office. So many words, so little action. When you barged into my office, Mr. Holmes, I got the impression you wanted to talk business. Now I see you had come just to talk. Tell me exactly what you want, or get out.
It was necessary groundwork for what comes next. I have enough evidence to conclude that the gallery thief, the artist's killer, and the dead man in the camp are all the same person.
Your time is almost up, Mr. Holmes.
Before you draw your gun, there is one final detail I am yet to mention. The young woman your man was tasked to collect from the refugee camp had been defiled at a perverse masquerade party. That violation was captured in a photograph by Boniface Mercurio and used as a reference for his painting. The photo shows the attacker's face.
Finally. That's why you're here, Mr. Holmes. You have the photograph.
It is what your man was after when he broke into Mercurio's apartment, and it is what you're after too, isn't it, Mr. Bernadotte?
You have the photograph with you. How much do you want for it?
I am not
là, ça
naive enough to
part.
carry it with me, and I am compelled to ask why you want it. Who is the man visible in the photograph? An associate?
Not yet, Mr. Holmes. Though with this picture, that may change. The man in the photo is a British envoy on Cordona.
What exactly do you want from him?
My business dealings are often arduous in their bureaucracy. A man in his position, willing to look the other way, could ease my work significantly. In return, I will make sure no one looks his way either. A favor for a favor.
Also known as blackmail, the modus operandi of any true professional.
It was not originally my idea. Mercurio set things in motion, extorting the envoy for the most trivial of ends. Money. In response, the envoy hired my man to retrieve the painting and the photograph, eliminating Mercurio's leverage. I only learned the whole story after the artist was killed in his home.
And rather than extricate yourself, instead you took over Mercurio's venture.
It fell into my lap. As a businessman, I simply seized the opportunity. Now, how much do you want for the image?
I could not help but appreciate the collection of smuggled artifacts in your storeroom. You have rather diversified your business.
Oh, high and mighty of you, Mr. Holmes. Not all smuggling is immoral. I pay generous rates to developing cultures and spread their culture to eager buyers. And furthermore, I supply many immigrants with a taste of home.
A very convenient way of thinking.
I have traveled wildly, Mr. Holmes. I've seen people in far-flung lands for whom my services are a lifeline. Without them, they would starve. The tax on cargo is often so absurd that it would be more profitable to simply sink your ship than dock it in the harbor. And trust me, I am speaking from experience.
Why did you send your man to remove the woman from the camp?
Without a photograph, her testimony was the next best thing. Securing her was in everyone's interest. Victims and witnesses all too often disappear. I thought the girl was safer with us. I did not anticipate what would happen at the camp.
Ok, avant de
I
passer aux
saw
choses sérieuses.
refugees from the camp at your warehouse. They work for you.
I have made certain arrangements with City Hall and the police. Thanks to me, refugees can work and be paid. It's a pathway to freedom.
And how much do you save by capitalizing on their cheap labor?
I have heard no complaints. They seem happy just to get out of that slum.
Why should I give you the photograph?
Just name your price.
What if my price were not money? You claim to have connections, Mr. Bernadotte. Perhaps you could improve conditions for the refugees. Give them a chance for a better life.
Ha! I do have connections, Mr. Holmes, but help the whole camp? You are asking too much. I could, however, make arrangements for one person. The woman who was violated will have her own home, outside the camp, solely for her and her child. She will no longer be a refugee, but a princess. That I can guarantee.
Is that really possible?
It will be neither fast nor easy, but I can do it. She deserves it, don't you agree? And as for her abuser, he will serve me, as much as he deserves.
So, in your plan, everybody will be given their due. Especially you, Mr. Bernadotte.
Seems like a fair deal, no? I doubt anyone could offer you better. Simply give me the photograph, and the world becomes a better place. I give you my word.
What makes you think you can decide what's best for these people?
Such is the arrogance of British imperialism. I take your point.
Je vais pas lui donner, non? D'accord. Ouais. Oh putain! L'envoyé est méprisable et Bernadotte a cherché à tirer profit d'une horrible situation. Aucun n'est digne de confiance. La vérité, s'il est révélé, il devra la faire. Donnez la photographie à Vogel afin qu'il dévoile tout au public. Bernadotte est un homme d'affaires véreux, mais il semble sincère dans sa promesse de donner à Leila et son enfant une vie heureuse. Est-ce qu'on est du côté de la justice? Ou pas du
I
tout?
opened the front door for you. Please, sir, do not linger.
Alors, allons aux archives. doit y avoir le nom du bazar. On a une photo datant de 1875. C'est pas là? Merde. Ah, c'est là. Ouh! Voilà. « 1875. Personne. Représentant officiel. » Ah. Ah. Ah bon? Ah! Mais... D'accord, c'est en 1875. Ah. Ah. Waouh! Affaire. Ils sont roches, hein? Oh putain, oh putain. On a une affaire à faire aussi. Et les récits de coordonnées. Alors, est-ce que je fais l'affaire? L'affaire, elle a l'air d'être vachement chiante. Je vais faire les récits de coordonnées. Il y a des trésors à trouver, ça a l'air rigolo quand même. Wow! Oui, je suis en train de faire un stream et alors. Non, merde. Alors, c'est bien 1875. Merde. Mais ça marche pas. Après, c'est un représentant officiel. Mais on l'a vu en faute. Ça n'a pas marché malgré quoi. Ah, mais c'est un représentant officiel. Alors est-ce que c'est à la police? À la mairie, on peut faire des recherches, c'est vrai. Au pire, de toute façon, je peux me... C'est un représentant officiel à la mairie, je trouvais quelque chose. À la police, ça m'étonnerait. Il n'y a pas les représentants, je crois. Oh, fatigué, ça y est, c'est bientôt l'heure de manger. Et quelle heure? 11h55, ouais, on va finir ça et puis voilà. Alors, c'est un représentant officiel. C'est le 19e siècle. Qu'est-ce qu'elle a... Ah! Oh! Thomas Norton, antivirus, né à Londres en 1840, diplômé de l'université d'Oxford, entré en fonction en tant que secrétaire au bureau de l'intérieur en 1869. Accepté une position d'officier des armées en Inde en 1975, il délivrait la médaille de l'ordre du bain par la reine en personne en 1977. Elle a été nommée au poste d'envoyé britannique en Cordona et a reçu son propre cabinet à l'hôtel de ville le 1er mars 1878. Ah bah il est toujours sur place. Et qu'est-ce qu'on en fait de cette merde? On en discute avec qui? On est à l'hôtel de ville. Madame, il est où Norton antivirus?
Have you found anything helpful?
Monsieur, il y a méchant chez vous.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
Sorry, I have no time for your problems.
Nique ta mère. Non mais putain. Putain. Bonjour, c'est la police.
Help me, please.
I don't know, and I don't care.
Time to check your who, what, and what, Sherry. Who are you asking? About what and dressed as what?
Ah. Mais... Oh putain. Bonjour, je suis riche.
Could you help me?
Sorry, but I've never heard of it.
Are you able to help me?
I usually have an answer for everything, but not for this.
Everyone's looking at us, Sherry. You sure you know what you're doing?
Have you found anything helpful?
Est-ce que je peux en reparler à... Est-ce que je peux pas aller voir vos gueules, non? Est-ce que je peux en reparler à qui? J'en sais rien. Ouais. Ah, merde, c'est les archives.
May I ask you something?
Nothing I can tell you, sir, but others might know more.
Do you know anything about this?
Sorry, but I never heard of this.
Oh, I am bored. Call me when you find the answer.
May I ask you something?
Please, don't get angry, sir. But I know nothing about this, I swear to you.
Ah bah. Fais du con. Ah, t'as bien
If you're
changé.
here on matters of signing up for military service,
T'es
come
moins
back
gros.
tomorrow. Our department needs to straighten out some business.
Pourquoi il a du sang? pas les chaussures abîmées. Il est pas allé sur place dans le camp, ce connard. Il me manque un truc. La médaille dehors du bain semble très usée. L'homme en est manifestement fier. La tache rouge qui est visible sur son poignet indique qu'il a récemment consommé du bain. Ses habits sont plissés, il prend à peine le temps de se raser. Ses yeux agités sans suggèrent qu'il souffre probablement d'insomnie. Qu'il en prend une grande anxiété. Tout porte à croire qu'il vit un véritable cauchemar et cherche à se purger du souvenir des terribles erreurs qui l'entourent. Il aime faire la teuf. Allez.
Why are you staring at me like I'm a Madame Tussauds figure? Didn't you hear what I just said?
On my way here, I was wondering whether you might regret what you did. I tried my best to retain at least a shred of faith in humanity. I had hoped that you would hear her scream, see her face in your dreams, or at least once asked yourself how Naylor might feel.
Who?
Neither of my hopes were fulfilled.
Why are you here?
You really thought that you could escape the consequences?
I don't know what you're trying to get from me. Never met anybody named Naylor.
Well, perhaps you didn't ask the refugee girl while you were violating her.
If you're only here to make unfounded accusations, I'd suggest you leave and come back when you have some solid evidence.
Might a photograph count as solid evidence?
Photograph? So, you've plucked up your courage to finally come here. I won't pay you anything unless I see the photograph for myself.
I'm not interested in money. I'm here for justice.
Didn't seem like it from the letter you wrote.
I've never written a single word to you. That's not my style. I am more direct. Oh, it appears that more and more people in the city are finding out about your despicable hobby, doesn't it?
Fine. I suppose now we have a nice long talk. Do you drink, Mr.
Sherlock Holmes. And I do not.
Shame. All the best discussions are accompanied by a glass of whiskey. But out of respect for you, I won't drink either.
Respect? That's an unusual word in your mouth, Mr.
Where are my manners? My name is Thomas Norton, a British envoy in Cordona on a military mission. So, where do we start?
You mentioned blackmail. Tell me about it.
All right. A couple of days ago, I received an anonymous letter. It said that in the art gallery at Caravansary there exists a painting that incriminates me. The blackmailer made it clear that if there is a painting, then a photograph exists too. And I should be wary of what it might do to my reputation.
What does the blackmailer want from you?
Money,
Yeah, sure.
of course. What else do such people want? Needless to say, I don't remember anyone taking photographs at the party. Up until the last moment, I hoped he was bluffing. But he wasn't, as you've just proven to me.
Show me the letter.
I burnt it as soon as I read it. I've left enough evidence. There's no need for any more.
So, let's return to the beginning. What happened at the party?
I vaguely remember that night. As usual at such parties, you meet people, you talk with them, they invite you to spend some time alone with them. What can I say? I got myself mixed up with the wrong company, and somebody must have mixed some psychoactive substance in my drink. After that, it's all blurry.
Toujours la faute des
I
autres.
completely lost my sanity. I made a terrible mistake which I regret deeply.
You don't say. Do refugee girls often appear on the menu at those types of parties?
It's rather rare.
So you didn't attend the party to engage in an exotic experience involving a vulnerable woman unable to accuse you of assault?
I would never have planned such a terrible thing. What happened was just bad circumstance.
Boniface Mercurio, does the name mean anything to you?
He's an artist, right?
The one responsible for the painting that compromises you. I found him dead in his room.
Oh, That is bad. Wait, you don't think that I have anything to do with this?
You had motive to kill him.
Maybe I did, but listen. I know how this looks, but murder? That's on another level. I had thoughts that this Mercutio...
Mercurio?
Well, him, yes. I thought he could have been the blackmailer. But I was too afraid to make any hasty decisions. There were plenty of ways to fail by making a move, so I chose to wait. To see what he would do next. You have to believe me.
I don't believe people, I believe evidence.
Then look at the evidence.
The painting that depicted you in the image of the devil was stolen by a mercenary. Did you have anything to do with it?
I might be a rotten person, sir, but hiring criminals for illicit purposes is not in my daily schedule.
And buying the painting in an attempt to hide the crime, is that on your daily schedule?
What would you do in my situation?
I would never put myself in such a situation.
You're young. I could never have imagined myself in my current position, yet here I am in front of you. We all make mistakes, Mr. Holmes. And I'm no exception. Mr. Holmes, I've built my entire career on hard work and uncompromising dedication to the crown.
Ouais,
I
en
made a
volant des
mistake,
jeunes.
but I'm not a villain from some cheap adventure fiction. By putting me behind bars, you will benefit precisely no one.
Rotting in prison is the least you deserve, but I have a better idea. You will make amends and help the ones you hurt. Use your connections to help patriate the refugees, find them decent homes, give them jobs. There must be a meaning to your position and my decision.
Yes, all right, I can do that. So, will you give me the photograph now?
That's not all. Naylor deserves the very utmost of what you can do.
Help the girl? I can't risk the press paying extra attention to her. I will do anything except that.
I need to think this all through. Don't do anything foolish in the meantime.
What makes you think you can decide what's best for these people?
Pop, 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 pop. Ah. Ah, ça c'est compliqué. Alors est-ce que...
Have you found anything helpful?
Est-ce que je dois parler à Vogel? Marc-Olivier Vogel. C'est où déjà? C'est là. À qui je dois faire la conclusion? Encore un peu. Ah!
Mr. Holmes, you've returned. Have you uncovered anything new about the theft?
I've brought news, but not all of it will please you.
Fill me in, Mr. Holmes. I won't shoot the messenger.
Le voleur est mort.
I located the thief, but found him rather cold. He was tight-lipped about the painting, too.
He's dead. How very droll, Mr. Holmes. One presumes you were not responsible.
It was an accident at the refugee camp. He impaled himself on his own knife.
Life is nothing if not cruel and capricious.
I tracked down Boniface Mercurio.
I presume he wasn't delighted about the situation.
He was not having a good day on account of his murder. Killed in his own flat by the same person that stole his painting.
Oh, sweet Mercurio. Perishing in the pursuit of his art. How apt. I will miss his exceptional sense of humor. What about the stolen painting? Have you located it?
I found the painting, but I could not retrieve it.
Well then, where is it?
In Bernadotti's office.
Bernadotti? That shady businessman? Why would he steal it from me?
I'm afraid you'll have to ask him yourself.
I take it you found something more then.
I found the source of Mercurio's artistic inspiration. A photograph. What troubled me was that the sexual act captured was non-consensual.
She was violated? Dear God, how despicable.
Her abuser was in fact the British envoy. Mercurio took a picture of him committing the atrocity and then used it as artistic inspiration.
I had no idea a mere break-in would eventually expose such barbarity.
Mr. Vogel, I want you to make everything public, including the photograph. I'm sure you have a connection at the Cordona Chronicle.
Ah, Mr. Holmes. Loyal to your own truth till the end. Yes, I'm acquainted with the staff of the Chronicle. The story is sensational, and will surely draw attention to the gallery. But you must be aware that exposing the scandal will further hurt the victim. Does that not bother you?
No matter what one does, the truth tends to come out, as well it should. I won't be the one to stand in its way.
Though it's only your subjective truth being exposed. Not that I'm judging. It's perfectly reasonable for everyone to have their own views.
When you called me, you knew exactly what you would get.
Oh, but I'm not like you, Mr. Holmes. I cannot be sure of anything. Regardless, I must thank you, for art's sake. Well, now that we've resolved all of our outstanding matters, I have a gift for you. I took the liberty of having it delivered to Stonewood Manor. I am told it belonged to your mother.
And what exactly have you sent me?
Frankly, I'm not sure how to answer that. I trust you'll know.
Previously, you mentioned there may have been more to my mother's passing than consumption. It appears you were right.
Oh, dear. I'd hoped to be wrong.
She was unstable, mentally unwell. She required sustained, specialized treatment, but her madness persisted.
I knew that Violet had disappeared from the public eye, but had no idea of her suffering. I cannot imagine what you're feeling.
I'm fine. Thank you, Mr. Vogel. I am curious to see what you have procured.
Ah, mais c'est fini. Ouais, bah on a boucrave l'autre alors, du coup. Parfait. Parfait, on va... Ouais, c'est pas fini. Ah, si, c'est l'histoire principale. Ouais, c'est l'histoire principale. Ben voilà, voilà tout, on a fini l'affaire. À la prochaine pour une prochaine affaire. J'ai vu qu'il y avait des légendes sur PS eFootball. Ah putain, c'est la daronne. Bon bah à plus tous.